Was that necessary?
Don't ever talk to her like that. Ever. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's still so strange to hear your voice.
Does it sound the same?
Yes, exactly the same.
Good. At least one thing hasn't changed.
I want to see you.
No.
I have so many questions, Brot.
Then just ask.
No, that's not how I want to do it. I want to look into your eyes. I want to talk to you. Is that so hard to understand? Brot, please.
Have you seen Jake lately?
That is not... This is about you and me, about what happened to you and how we go forward from here. Please, you're practically around the corner. Why don't you just come to my room? Hello?
Peekaboo. You up for a visitor?
You mean in person? Wow, what a concept. Sorry, it's just these phone calls with Brot. You know, I'm so, obviously, so grateful that he's alive. After a year of praying for something like this, are you kidding? But now that he's here, I would like to actually see him in person.
Yeah, but you gotta see it from Brot's perspective.
I am. I am. That's all I'm doing. But, you know, his face, his burns, I don't see that. It doesn't bother me. But it bothers him. And because it bothers him so much, it's like this thing that sits there right in the middle of us. Has he talked to you about the explosion?
Some. But there's not much to talk about, Taylor. We all were there.
Yeah, but we didn't get hurt. Not like that. And I just know if we don't go back there and figure it out, we're not going to be able to move forward. I mean, what was that like for him? What was he thinking? Can you even describe that kind of pain? I know that I will never fully be able to understand that, but I do have to try.
I don't. Why do you?
Because, Frankie, it could have been us.
It could have been one of us in the explosion, but it wasn't. What Brot chooses to share or how much, that's not your decision, LT.
I know. You're right. How are you dealing with all this?
Me? Come on, I'm not the one who was engaged to the guy.
You know what I mean. Seeing him, that doesn't bring it all back for you?
It does. More importantly, it makes me think about my redeployment. I'm going back, LT. Soon. This time is real.
Real as it gets. Are you nervous?
Not about doing my job. It's about the people I have to leave behind.
How is Randy dealing with all this?
We haven't talked about it lately.
Well, I think you're lucky to have her. I mean, I know saying goodbye sucks, but she'll make you fight that much harder to get home.
Do you really want to know what happened to me? Because it's brutal, scary, and graphic as hell.
I can take it.
But what if I can't? At first, the heat was so intense. I remember Frankie was working on me, trying to calm me down and keeping me from thrashing around. His mouth was moving, but I couldn't hear anything. Maybe it was because my ears were ringing. Maybe that part of my brain just shut down to deal with the intense pain. Or maybe I was just screaming too loud to hear anything else. The truth is, I didn't need to hear anything to know how bad it was. The look in Hub's eyes told me more than I wanted to know, and this is more than you want to know.
Keep going.
Frankie earned that silver star. I remember he held me in his arms as if I was his firstborn, and his mouth was still moving. I still couldn't hear anything. And the smell, that smell, it was me, burning alive. And I can feel the life being sucked right out of me, and that's when my mind just left and I saw my friends, our unit, my mom, and you. That's when I heard something.
What?
Your voice over the radio. You were calling for a medevac to get me out of there. But all I can really hear was your sweet voice telling me to hang on. So I did. Truth is, your voice, your love, that's what kept me alive that day. Weeks later, I woke up in the hospital, and you would think that the pain would be less, but it wasn't. They had to bathe me, and they literally had to scrub my body from head to toe, and that alone was just more painful than when my skin was actually on fire.
Brot.
I would plead with them to stop, and because I just wanted to know, why was it hurting so much? What was left of me?
Well, did the doctors or nurses explain to you what was going on?
All they would say is, "You'll be all right," or "It's way too soon to say more." Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, and I convinced one of my nurses to just bring a mirror and let me see. He set it up, and the hardest thing I ever had to do was just lift my eyes. I don't remember how long I stared, but I think it was maybe long enough just so the shock wore off, and immediately I pushed the damn mirror away, and I was angry at everything, at everyone, because that face, it wasn't me. That person, it wasn't me.
But listen to me, we don't care about your face. We don't care what you look like. We just care about you.
That's the point, Taylor. The person looking back in that mirror, he was a complete stranger. I mean, if I wasn't able to find myself, how the hell am I expecting someone else to? That's when I just wished I had a gun so I could forget all of this ever happened.
Don't say that.
They didn't let a gun anywhere near my ward because they knew exactly what I was thinking.
You weren't supposed to die. There's a reason that you survived that explosion.
Maybe, but it sure in hell wasn't to go back to my old life. I had to start over. Brot Monroe, he was put to rest at some funeral.
I think that Sergeant Brot Monroe is standing right here.
I told you. I can't go back.
But how do you know if you don't even try?